What does it take to truly change? To dig deep within yourself and face the darkest parts of your soul? For Kody Brown, star of Sister Wives, this question became more than just a personal challenge. It became the defining moment of his life. But here's the shocking truth. The Kody you thought you knew may not be the man he is anymore. This isn't just about marriage or family. This is Kody, torn apart by his own past, fighting for his future. Will he conquer the hardest test of his life, or will his legacy be shattered forever? Part 1. Christine. It's been hard. I thought I could always count on Janelle, but things aren't as simple as they used to be. Christine's words set the stage for what was to come. While the public watched Christine's divorce unfold, it was her growing distance from Janelle that quietly left viewers wondering, could their once unshakable friendship really survive the weight of their personal lives crumbling apart? Janelle: I'm still figuring things out. It's not just Kody. I've had to reevaluate everything, even my relationships with the other wives. Janelle's journey is equally complicated. Despite her own separation from Kody, she kept a more private stance about her feelings towards Christine. Yet something began to shift. As the camera captured their lives, small moments of tension began to surface. Silent stares, half-hearted smiles. Once they could finish each other's sentences. Now, they seem unsure of what to say. But what caused this fracture? Christine: I feel like I'm being left behind. The more time passes, the more I realize that things are changing, and not for the better. For Christine, the feeling of abandonment from someone who was once her closest confidant began to weigh heavy. But Janelle's silence on the matter only added to the confusion. It was one post that truly shook things up. Janelle, known for her calm demeanor, suddenly took to social media with a cryptic message. In it, she hinted at a rift she wasn't ready to explain publicly, but the damage was done. The implications were undeniable. Was Janelle insinuating something deeper? Had their friendship truly broken down to the point of betrayal? Christine: I was hurt. It felt like she was taking a side I wasn't ready to see. As the news spread, fans were left reeling. On social media, theories ran wild. Was there more to the story than just a falling out? Was Christine being blindsided? Or was Janelle simply protecting her own heart? As the fan base weighed in, emotions ran high. For some, this was a long overdue shift. They saw Janelle as finally stepping out of Kody's shadow, but for others, the betrayal felt personal. Fan 1 from Reddit: I always thought Christine and Janelle were unbreakable. What happened between them? Fan 2 from YouTube: It's hard to believe, but they've been through so much. Could they really just fall apart over something like this? The tension came to a head when Christine and Janelle finally faced off. In a raw, emotional conversation, everything came to light. Old wounds, hidden fears, and unspoken truths. What they both realized was more shocking than anything their fans could have imagined. Christine: I didn't expect this from you, Janelle. I thought we were stronger than this. Janelle: I thought the same, but we've both changed. I can't just pretend like everything is okay. In the aftermath, both Christine and Janelle have begun to rebuild their lives. But their friendship will never be the same. Will time heal the wounds? Or has the fracture run too deep? Only time will tell if Christine and Janelle can reconcile. But one thing is certain: their bond will never be the same. And for the millions of fans watching, this story is far from over. For now, we're left with questions. Can they repair their broken friendship? Or will this chapter be the final one in their complicated story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Part 2. The Special Forces training was unlike anything Kody had ever faced. In the controlled chaos of the training ground, the rules were simple: push harder, dig deeper, and never give up. For Kody, this was about more than physical strength. It was about pushing past his personal limitations and confronting the deepest fears he'd long buried. This was a man who had faced emotional turmoil, public scrutiny, and the complexities of plural marriage. But in the face of these extreme physical challenges, he was forced to confront a new kind of vulnerability. Leadership is tested in moments of crisis. In the midst of extreme exhaustion, with the threat of failure looming over him, Kody was pushed into a role that required him to lead not just himself, but those around him. His every decision, every command, would either make or break the team. Kody's leadership wasn't perfect, but you could see that he was trying. There were moments where he stepped up, but there were also times when you could see him struggling with self-doubt. For Kody, the pressure was immense. But more than just the physical trials, it was his internal struggle that defined his journey. And then it happened. The breaking point. The moment when Kody, pushed to the edge, considered quitting. It was at this moment that he had to ask himself, is this journey worth it? Is this challenge bigger than the fear, the pain, and the self-doubt that have haunted him for years? The physical toll was one thing, but the emotional strain was something Kody could no longer hide from. This was no longer just about winning a challenge. It was about confronting his deepest fears and insecurities. Kody, I've always believed in being tough, but what I learned out there is that sometimes being tough is about being vulnerable, admitting when you're broken, and finding the strength to keep going. Through every painful step, Kody began to see his life from a new perspective. As he struggled with his limitations, he also confronted the weight of his responsibilities. His role as a leader in his family, as a husband, and as a father, it all became clearer in those moments of self-reflection. Kody, it was during those moments of weakness that I realized what leadership truly is. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, no matter how tough it gets. It's about being there for your family when they need you the most. In the most grueling moments of his training, Kody began to understand what it meant to balance the pressures of being a father and a husband, a leader and a teammate. It wasn't just about being strong for himself, but for those who depended on him. Just when it seemed Kody's journey would come to an end, an unexpected revelation shook him to his core. It wasn't just the physical tests he had to conquer, but the emotional baggage he had been carrying for years. Kody, I've spent so much of my life trying to be what everyone else needed me to be. But out here, I realized that I've never really taken the time to ask myself what I need. In that moment, Kody's perspective shifted. The lessons of leadership, growth, and responsibility were no longer abstract ideas. They were now part of his personal journey towards self-empowerment. Kody Brown returned home a changed man. The tests he faced on Special Forces had shaped him in ways he never anticipated. But more importantly, they forced him to confront the kind of leader he wanted to be, not just for himself, but for his family. Though the physical challenges of Special Forces were grueling, it was the emotional journey that left the most lasting impact. As Kody continues to balance his commitments to his family, one thing is clear: the lessons he learned on that brutal course will resonate for years to come. Kody Brown's journey on Special Forces was a test like no other. But it's far from over. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. For years, Kody Brown's life was on display for millions of viewers. As the patriarch of a plural family, he navigated the complexities of love, leadership, and responsibility. But behind the cameras, his world was far from perfect. His role as a husband and father was complicated by the dynamics of his plural marriage. As he balanced 4 wives, a growing family, and the expectations of being a leader in his community, his personal identity began to fray. But when Kody agreed to join Special Forces, world's toughest test, he faced a challenge like no other. A challenge that would force him to reckon not just with his physical limits, but with the very core of who he is as a leader, a man, and a father. As the cameras roll, Kody steps into a world that is unfamiliar, raw, and unforgiving. The challenges are designed to break you mentally, emotionally, and physically. For Kody, it was a chance to prove something, to himself and to the world. But what he didn't know was that this test would force him to confront the very issues he had spent years avoiding. In the face of exhausting physical challenges, Kody's leadership is tested in real time. In moments of extreme stress, he is called to guide others, make snap decisions, and keep his team together. But this test isn't just about physical strength. It's about the kind of strength that lies within. This isn't just about surviving. It's about leading with clarity, strength, and conviction qualities that Kody's personal life has often lacked. The question, can you rise to the occasion? Kody, out there, everything changes. The way you think about your life, your decisions, and the people around you, it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. Kody's reflections take us back to the struggles he faced as a husband and father. In the chaos of sister wives, he often juggled multiple conflicting demands. But in the harsh reality of Special Forces, he cannot hide behind his role as a family leader. Here, he is just a man fighting for survival. For years, Kody struggled to keep his family together. The emotional and mental toll of balancing multiple marriages took its toll on his leadership. Was he truly the leader he claimed to be? Or was his role just another mask he wore to cope with his own self-doubt? The breaking point comes not just in physical exhaustion, but in a moment of deep emotional vulnerability. Surrounded by military professionals who have been through the worst of the worst, Kody begins to crack. The question looms, will he give up or will he rise? In this moment of extreme physical pain, Kody faces his deepest fear that he's not enough. Not as a leader, not as a father, and not as a man. His role on Sister Wives has often been one of control, but here, in this brutal environment, he is powerless. But then something shifts. With his body screaming in pain and his mind fighting against doubt, Kody finds something deep within himself, a new kind of strength. It's not the strength of a leader who commands. It's the strength of a man who has learned to embrace vulnerability, to lead with empathy, and to push through his own fears. For the first time, Kody begins to lead not just with authority, but with understanding. He recognizes that true leadership is about lifting others up, not just pushing them forward. This is the moment of transformation. But the journey doesn't end with victory. It ends with an unexpected revelation. Kody's time on Special Forces didn't just change his view on leadership, it changed how he viewed his family. The test wasn't just about surviving the physical demands. It was about surviving the emotional strain of being a husband and father under constant pressure. When Kody returns to his family, the real test begins. The lessons learned in the desert now come to the forefront of his relationships. How will he apply his newfound understanding of leadership to his plural marriage? Can he reconcile the emotional growth he's achieved with the complex family dynamics that have always defined him? The hardest part of Kody's journey is yet to come, as he tries to reconcile the man he was with the man he's become. Kody faces the challenge of repairing his relationships. But now, with a new sense of self. He is ready to step into a new kind of leadership, one that values communication, understanding, and above all, vulnerability. For Kody, the path forward will never be easy, but the lessons from Special Forces have given him a new perspective, not just on survival, but on the strength it takes to truly lead in love. What does true leadership mean to you? Can we ever fully change, or is growth an ongoing journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to follow Kody's journey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the bell for future updates. This story is far from over.